Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Ribhu Gita, Chapter.7. Meditation on Chapter.7 of Ribhu Gita. Description of the twin topics of Tarpana to Brahman and Homa to the Self. Nidagha, listen to my words. I shall now explain to you the daily Tarpana, libation of water. This explanation is very difficult for men to come by in all the scriptures. The manifold universe doesn't exist indeed ever, nor is there anything to be pointed out as this. There is only Brahman which is ever complete. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. I am Brahman with form indeed. I am absolute existence, consciousness, bliss. I am only a mass of bliss. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. Meditate on this after listening to these nectarine words of Ribhu. Reflect on this, meditate on this, and become absorbed in samadhi, which would lead to direct self-realization. Nidhi on Ribhu Gita is a direct key to unlock the treasure trove of self and Brahman ever present within you. The self of the form of pure consciousness, non-dual pure intelligence, ever present as knower and seer of all. Meditate on these nectarine words of Ribhu and become free from all bondage, sorrow and sufferings. I am Brahman with form indeed. I am also existence, consciousness, bliss. I am only a mass of bliss. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. This is the greatest sacred bath, highest purification of inner reality. Meditate on this. I am ever the complete void. I am ever full of the bliss of the self. I am of the nature of the permanent and the impermanent. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. I am the space of consciousness alone. I am ever the space of the self. I am satisfied in the self. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. Reflect on this, meditate on this, and enter into samadhi. This is the greatest key to self-realization of your true nature. Meditate on these nectarine words of says Ribhu. I can't be counted by numbers such as one and so forth. I am formless. I am non-dual. I am of the nature of the eternally pure. This is the Tarpana of Brahman, the greatest Tarpana of Brahman. Reflect on this, meditate on this, and get absorbed in samadhi. Meditate on these nectarine words of RIbhu Gita. I am subtler than space. I am this absolutely non-existent. I am of the nature of these all illumined. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. This is the highest meditation. This is the greatest spiritual practice. It would lead to self-realization. Meditate on RIbhu Gita and become free right now, right here. I am of the nature of the Supreme Brahman. I am happiness, higher, lower, and all-inclusive. I alone am of the nature of oblations. I am devoid of the seer and the seen and the like. I am not anything at all. I am here. Complete silence. I am of the nature of pure liberation. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. Reflect on these words, meditate on these words, and enter into samadhi right now. I am of the nature of the all blissful. I am ever of the nature of the bliss of knowledge. I alone am of the nature of empirical knowledge. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. I am of the nature of the all blissful. I am ever of the nature of the bliss of knowledge. I alone am of the nature of empirical knowledge. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. Meditate on these words of RIbhu Gita. All this is only Brahman. Sarvam khal vidam Brahma. Reflect on this truth, meditate on this truth, and become free from all the sorrows, sufferings, fears of disease and death. Realize your true nature, immortal nature, eternal nature of the self within. All this is only Brahman, nothing else exists anywhere. I affirm. I am that. Soham indeed. I am that indeed. There is no doubt. There is no doubt. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. As a thing like you, a thing like that, never is there any such thing, because I am only pure consciousness, Shuddha Bodha. I am only pure consciousness. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. Meditate on these divine words of RIbhu Gita. I am of the nature of absolute non-existence. I am indeed the highest of the high. I am indeed the highest of the high. I am myself, happiness and nothing else. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. Meditate on these divine words of RIbhu Gita. This is the nature of gold. There is no such thing at all, none whatsoever, I affirm. I am of the nature of the bliss without attributes. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. There being nothing for me to witness, I am never a witness, being only of the nature of Brahman. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. Reflect and meditate on these divine words of RIbhu Gita in order to become free from all sorrow and sufferings and to realize your eternal nature. I am without distinguishing attributes, yet I am myself the one with name. I am myself non-delusion. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. I am of the nature devoid of the senses. I am of the nature devoid of all. I am devoid of bondage and liberation. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. Meditate on this. I am of the nature of the all blissful. I am a mass of the all blissful. Ananda Ghana, Ananda Ghana, Ananda Ghana. I am eternal consciousness alone. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. I am also beyond the range of words. Words or the mind don't exist in the least. I am also consciousness bliss. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. I am of the nature of fullness always. I am happiness always. Always I am of the nature that can't be conceived. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. Reflect and meditate on these divine nectarine words of RIbhu Gita. Meditate on these words, divine selves. I am of the nature of satisfaction at all times. I am only all bliss. I am of the nature of the complete void. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. I am ever of the nature of myself. I am one who is supremely blissful. I myself am only one. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. Meditate on this. I am free. I am of the nature of liberation. I am the supreme complete silence. I am of the nature of complete liberation. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. Meditate on this. Meditate on this. I am ever of the nature of the truth. I am ever one who is of the Turiya, the fourth state beyond waking, dream and deep sleep. I am of the nature of Turiyatita, the state beyond fourth stage. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. Meditate on this. I am only truth and knowledge. I am one who is only truth and bliss. I am of the nature of that is indeterminate. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. I am indeed ever of the nature of the unborn. I am without desire. I am untainted. I am of the nature of Brahman knowledge. This is the Tarpana to Brahman. Tarpana to Brahman has thus been so told. This is my explanation. Whoever hears this even once, he himself becomes Brahman. Whosoever hears it even once, he himself becomes Brahman. Reflect and meditate on these divine words of RIbhu Gita and become free from all fears of disease and death and sorrows and sufferings. Reflect and meditate and get absorbed in the Self Supreme, the Brahman ever present within you, and enter into Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Sahaj Samadhi, Jnana Samadhi. Through these divine words of RIbhu Gita, meditate on these words. Dear divine selves, meditate on these divine words of RIbhu Gita and become free from all sorrows. I shall now speak of the daily Homa. Homa to the self. This is rare to come by in all the Vedas. Listen carefully. What is going to be revealed to you is very difficult to find even in Vedas in such crystal clear, precise and direct words as says Ribhu. The mind-born son of Lord Shiva is revealing the supreme secret of self-realization and eternal bliss that is so natural to the real self of yours and mine. Meditate on these words. This is non-duality, the meaning of all scriptures. Listen attentively. Listen attentively. Reflect on these divine words. Meditate on these divine words and enter into Samadhi, Sahaj Samadhi, Jnana Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Through these divine words of RIbhu Gita. I am Brahman, I am pure, I am eternal, I am the Lord, I am of the nature of the meaning of the syllable Om. This is the very rare Homa. This is the very rare Homa. This is the greatest instruction. This is the rarest of the rare wisdom, divine wisdom revealed by RIbhu Gita, that is the highest of non-duality teaching, whereby reflecting and meditating on these words, you can become free and self-realized immediately. Meditate on these divine words. Meditate on these divine words. I am of the nature of the Supreme Self. I am full of the Supreme Bliss. I am of the nature of consciousness bliss. This is the very rare Homa. Meditate on this. Meditate on this. I am of the nature of eternal bliss. I am of the nature of the undefiled. I am of the nature of consciousness. Chaitanya Rupoham. Chidoham. I am of the nature of consciousness. This is a very rare Homa. Meditate on the divine words of RIbhu Gita. I am not indeed of the nature of anything in the least. I am not myself, nor am I he. I am of the nature that has no interaction. This is a very rare Homa, very rare Homa to the self. I have no paths, I have no image, I am neither the mind nor the senses, neither the intellect nor any misapprehension. This is a very rare Homa. Meditate on this. I am not of the nature of the body and such. I am free of the treatises and such. I am not of the nature of wakefulness or dream. This is the very rare Homa. Meditate on these divine words. I have no listening, reflection, or one-pointed profound meditation. I have no Shravan, Manan, or Nidhi Dhyasana within me, because I am Supreme Self. Nor do I have anything self-inspired. This is very rare Homa. The mind stuff is unreal, intelligence is unreal, know the ego to be unreal, the triad of time is ever unreal. Reflect and meditate on these divine words and become free, free from all sorrows and sufferings, fear of disease and death. The mind stuff is unreal. Know the triad of gunas, satoguna, rajoguna, tamoguna, to be unreal. This is the very rare Homa. This is the very rare Homa. Oblation to the self. Look upon all that is heard as unreal. Look upon all the Vedas as ever unreal. Look upon all philosophies as unreal. This is the very rare Homa. reflect on this supreme mystery of existence, meditate on these words, divine words of RIbhu Gita, and become free. Look upon the various forms as unreal. Look upon the variety of colors to be ever unreal. Look upon the variety of categories to be unreal. This is the very rare Homa. Meditate on this. Meditate on this. Look upon all scriptural knowledge as unreal, and all the Vedic knowledge and tapas, religious austerities, also as unreal. Look upon all holy waters as unreal. This is the very rare Homa. This is the height supreme of the non-dual instruction. Reflect on these divine words, meditate on these nectarine words, and enter into Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Sahaj Samadhi, Jnana Samadhi, where the mind is completely absorbed and merged in ever blissful, pure consciousness, the Atman, the Brahman, which is the supreme glory, highest attainment, ultimate objective of every human being. Realize your true nature by reflecting and meditating on these divine words of RIbhu Gita. Look upon the Guru and the disciple as unreal. Then look upon the teachings of the Guru also as unreal. Look upon as unreal whatever is an object of perception. This is the very rare Homa. Listen carefully what RIbhu is trying to suggest when he is saying that everything is unreal. What that everything is he trying to suggest? He is saying, look upon as unreal whatever is an object of perception. That is what he is saying. The Vedas, the Guru, the disciple, the holy waters, all religious practices are all objects of perception. And the Supreme Lord, the Brahman, the Atman, ever present within you and without you, is ever beyond perception. Because the Brahman and the Self and the Atman is very essence of all perception, very essence of all knowledge, very essence of all seeing and knowing. Because the Brahman is the ultimate seer, the supreme knower. The ultimate perceiver is Brahman, the Atman. That Brahman and Atman you are. Therefore, anything and everything that is an object of perception is a shadow, is a reflection of yours. That is the Atman eternal, the Brahman supreme. It is not the real, the show. All the sacred spiritual literature, whether Vedas or Upanishads, all the gurus and disciples, all are nothing but objects of perception. Therefore, they are unreal. They are unreal. And you, the supreme perceiver, the ultimate knower, the eternal seer, is the supreme truth. Reflect on this. Meditate on these divine words. and become free from all sorrows and sufferings and bondage. Look upon all enjoyment as unreal. Whatever can be thought of is ever unreal. Look upon as unreal whatever is an object of perception. This is the very rare Homa. This is the very rare Homa. That is why this Advaita Vedanta is called direct path. Such a great mystical revelation here in RIbhu Gita that rejects everything that is an object of perception as unreal. Meditate on this truth and become free from all illusory attachments. Everything you are attached to, whether your wife or husband or lover or beloved, or parents or children or relatives, friends or foes, they are all objects of perception. Even your body, your mind, your intellect, your senses are all objects of perception. That's why, and therefore, they are all unreal. They are unreal. You, the eternal seer, the immortal knower of all this and perceiver of all this, is the real Atman, Brahman. Meditate on that Brahman. Meditate on that Atman and attain that supreme objective, that is self-realization, Brahman realization. By this meditation on divine words of RIbhu Gita, whatever can be thought of is ever unreal. Look upon as unreal whatever is an object of perception. This is the very rare of Homa. Look upon all the senses as unreal and also all mantras as unreal. Look upon all the pranas as unreal. This is the very rare Homa. Meditate on this. Meditate on this. Look upon life and the body as unreal. Certainly there is nothing as such existing in the Supreme Brahman. Know all in me as unreal. This is the very rare Homa. All this in me, what is indicating? The body, the senses, the mind, the intellect, the ego, all are mere appearances within me. They are all unreal, as in the case of a mirror. When you stand face to face with a mirror, you see a reflection of yourself, but there is no you within that mirror. It appears that you are there, that reflection appears so real, but yet it is illusory. Even so, the body, mind, intellect, senses, and the entire phenomenal universe are appearing in, upon, and through you. You, the Brahman, you, the Atman, you, the pure consciousness. Therefore, you alone are real. Everything else is unreal. Know this for certain. Reflect on the divine words of RIbhu Gita. Meditate on them and become free right now, right here. Enter into Samadhi. Look upon what is seen and heard as unreal. The warp and oof in me are unreal. All action and inaction are unreal. This is the very rare Homa. In this mystical revelation, says Ribhu is bringing the best interpretation or explanation of the treatise Drishya Viveka, the discrimination between the seer and seen. In Drishya Viveka of Swami Vidyaranya, this very truth has been systematically revealed, that the seer is real, the seen is ever unreal, only reflection. So even so, Ribhu Gita is revealing that whatever is an object of perception, object of thought, is ever unreal, and you are real. You, the pure consciousness, the Atman, the Brahman, are real. Reflect on these divine words of Ribhu Gita, meditate on these truths, and become free right now. Look upon the power to see as unreal, so too is happiness unreal. Look upon all actions as unreal. This is very rare Homa. Meditate on this. Meditate on this. Look upon all and the absence of all as unreal. Look upon completeness and incompleteness in the Supreme as unreal. Look upon happiness and misery as unreal. This is very rare Homa. Look upon adherence to Dharma as unreal. Look upon Punya, merit due to good action, and the negation of it as unreal. Look upon gain and loss as unreal. The body is ever unreal, ever. The body is ever unreal, ever. Reflect on this, meditate on this, and transcend the body consciousness. That is called Samadhi. The supreme state, the supreme glory of Moksha and self-realization. Enlightenment is transcendence of body, mind, consciousness, and getting absorbed in the Supreme Self, the Atman, the Brahman. Reflect on these words, meditate on these words, and become self-realized. Even look upon success as ever unreal, and the sense of pride as ever unreal. Look upon all that pertains to the mind as unreal. Likewise should you view doubt and certitude. Doubt and certitude both are unreal, the states of mind which is illusory. Meditate on these words. Look upon all sound as unreal, and all touch as ever unreal. Look upon all forms as unreal, and all taste as ever unreal. all the five objects of senses are unreal, imagined through the mind in your own nature, that is of the pure consciousness. Meditate on this, meditate on this. Go deep within yourself. Listen these truths again and again. Reflect on these divine words again and again, and practice Nidagha.This, the profound Vedantic meditation on these supreme revelations of non-duality, Advaita Vedantic eternal truths, in order to become self-realized, free from all sorrows and sufferings, fears of disease and death. Realize your immortal, eternal nature and become free from everything, every bondage, every ignorance, every attachment, every want, every fear. Become free from all. Because you are all in all. You are unconditioned, absolute reality. Become free right now, right here. Look upon all smell as unreal. Look upon all knowledge as ever unreal. Look upon past and future as unreal. Prakriti is said to be unreal. Reflect on these words and meditate on these words of RIbhu Gita. The past, the present and future are unreal because there is no sense of time in the self, the Brahman. All sense of time is mental, and all sense of space is because of this body identity. The body is located in a certain space, finite space. Therefore, it creates a division artificial of the reality of the body and body within and the world outside. Transcend the body consciousness, there is no space. Transcend the mind consciousness, there is no time. Therefore, time and space are both product of illusion caused by your body consciousness, your ego consciousness, your mind consciousness. The moment you transcend your mind and body consciousness through Nidagha.This, through profound Vedantic meditation on the eternal nature of yours, and get absorbed into Samadhi, then and there you realize there is no past or present or future. There is no inside and outside. These are all mental illusions. You are beyond all time, you are beyond all space, because you are Brahman alone. Reflect on these words, meditate on these words divine, and become free and self-realized. All is ever unreal indeed. Existence and creation are unreal. All the gunas are unreal. This is very rare Homa. Try to understand this supreme mystery. The creation and existence are all unreal because the world, the phenomenal world of names, forms and attributes is nothing but projection of the mind. That's why they are unreal. The essence of every object appearing to exist in the universe is the illusion and ignorance about the true nature of yourself. That is, you are ever of the nature of pure consciousness, light of pure awareness, vast spacious awareness. You are in that light of consciousness. All these universes and objects of the universes appear. They don't exist, they appear. Abhas matram. As in the mirror, certain images appear, not being really existing in the mirror, and yet they appear so real. Even so, the body, the mind, the senses, and the world outside never exist, and yet, like the image in the mirror, they appear in the vast mirror of pure consciousness through the illusory faculty of mind. The entire universe is a mental creation. Transcend the state of mind, transcend your mind, and there is no universe. The world of names and forms, the phenomenal world, immediately dissolves in samadhi. That's why you reflect on these words, meditate on these words, and through profound Vedantic meditation, the Nidhi-dhyasan, enter into the supreme state of samadhi, nirvikalpa, absolute absorption in the self. When the mind and mental modifications, the compulsive chain of thoughts are absorbed in the root, the source and substance of the mind, that is pure consciousness, the self, the Atman, that state is called samadhi. In that state of samadhi, the supreme reality is revealed to you. You attain intuitive, inspired, immediate, intimate, personal and direct experience of the self, of the Brahman, ever present within you, ever pervading and permeating every single atom in the universe, ever pervading and permeating every cell in every living organism. That Atman you are, that Brahman you are. Listen to these words carefully, attentively, reflect on them time and again, and meditate on them in order to become self-realized, to become God-realized, to become one with the Supreme Reality, because you are Brahman, you are Supreme Reality. Tat Tvam Asi, that thou art. Meditate on these words. You are like the horns of a hare indeed. When Ribhu is addressing you as the horns of the hare, he is implying you, the body, ego, mind-based identity, he is saying, unreal. Not the Atman. You as conglomeration of senses, body, mind, these are ego-based, projected, apparent, illusory realities. Therefore, they are ever unreal. They are like, your body is like horn of a hare. Hare doesn't have ever any horn. Like a barren woman's son. Can a barren woman have a son? No. Similarly, the pure consciousness, the Atman of the nature of pure consciousness, nectarine bliss and eternal existence, is ever free from all forms, names and attributes, and whatever names, forms and attributes appear to exist, they are ever unreal. They are mere projections of the same Brahman, the Supreme Self, due to ignorance and illusion of your true nature. Reflect on these divine words, meditate on these words, and become free right now, right here. You are like the horns of a hare indeed. I am like the horns of a hare. All this is like the horns of a hare indeed. The innermost is like the horns of a hare. Now, even the innermost he is referring to anything as an object of perception. Anything and everything which is an object of perception is unreal, imaginary, illusory. Your body, mind, intellect, they are all like the horns of the hare, never existent, and yet they appear so real. Reflect on these divine words of Ribhu Gita, meditate on them, practice Nidhi Dhyasana time and again, and enter into Nirvikalpa Samadhi thereafter to absorb the mental modifications, the mind completely into its source, that is the self, the Atman. Dissolve the mind into the self, and there you are free. There you are free from all fear of disease and death. You are free from all sorrows and sufferings. You are free from birth and death. Free from success and failure. Free from honor and dishonor, love and hatred, because you realize that you are all in all of all. The Brahman you are, the Brahman I am. Meditate on these eternal divine words of Ribhu Gita and become free, self-realized. Thus the explanation of the Homa of the Self has been told by me. Whoever hears this even once will himself become Brahman. Even once hearing with full attention and full devotion these divine words of, says Ribhu in Ribhu Gita, you would become free. You would become the Brahman. You would become the Paramatman, because you are always Paramatman, Brahman, and the Supreme Self, the finite, ephemeral, transient identity of the body, mind, intellect is a projection and imagination in, upon, and through your real nature. The Brahman himself, through imagination, has become bound, mortal, vulnerable to infections and all diseases. There is no corona pandemic, there is no coronavirus or any kind of virus or infectious disease or elements of sickness in your true nature. You are beyond all sorrows, sufferings, disease and infection, because you are ever of the nature of the light of pure consciousness. You are unattached, ever asanga. You are ever tentless, niranjana. Nothing can tempt you, nothing can get attached to you. You are like space. The Atman, the pure consciousness, is ever like space. In the space and vast sky, there may be clouds of water or cloud of smoke or cloud of dust appearing for a certain period of time as if they have enveloped the entire sky, but they never touch the sky. The sky is ever attached, unattached. Even so, the entire phenomenal universe, your body and the bodies outside you, the mind and mental modifications, all are imaginary, illusory appearances in the pure consciousness, the Atman that you are. So you are always Brahman, even if you feel yourself death bound, disease bound, sorrow bound. It is because of your ignorance. You are ever free from all disease. You are ever free from all the sorrows, sufferings, birth and death. Realize your true nature by listening to, reflecting and meditating on the eternal divine wisdom of RIbhu Gita. Meditate on this. This is panacea for all the ills and woes afflicting you and me and the entire human race. At the moment, entire human race is being haunted. Every single human being is constantly being haunted by the specter of corona pandemic. They don't know what to do. This is the only remedy available to you, and this is an eternal remedy. Realization of the self is the ultimate remedy. Realization of your true nature and abidance in the self is the supreme vaccination, the ultimate remedy, whereafter there is nothing to worry about, there is nothing to fear about. You are all in all. You realize that you are eternal existence. You are embodiment of pure consciousness. You are embodiment of everlasting beauty, unconditioned love, and eternal existence. Embodiment of infinite bliss you are. You are Chinmurti, Anandamurti, Saundaryamurti, Premamurti. You are infinite and absolute self. Realize through these divine words of RIbhu Gita and become free. A skanda, the universe, a happy aspect of Shiva, wherein arises and dissolves all in entirety, wherein shine the sun and the moon, lightning, fire, the gods of wind and water, worshipping Ishvara with awe, wherein manifest the gods and demons and men and all that is imperceptible. None of this truly exists here. Nothing at all is here. Nothing is desirable but the contemplation of God. Listen this line, supreme mystery. Nothing at all is here. Nothing is desirable but the contemplation of God. Reflection on the Brahman, meditation on the Brahman is the only desirable thing here. All else is illusory, non-existent, like the son of a barren woman, like the horns of the hare, like the horn of a hare. Nothing ever exists. Nothing ever exists other than that supreme reality, the self, the Brahman, the God. Contemplation on the Brahman, contemplation on God, reflection on that Atman is the only desirable thing, because that alone makes you free, sets you free from all fears, makes you free from fear of disease and death, and makes you free from all want, all desire, all sense of lack and deprivation is removed immediately after God realization. Therefore, meditate on these divine words of Ribhu Gita and attain that supreme glory. That is the only desirable thing. The rest is born out of ignorance and illusion. That Shiva, who though in the midst of the beings of world cannot be perceived in his subtlety and cannot be perceived by the variations of the breath of inhalation and exhalation, by thought, by reflection and intellect, by the fivefold concentrations of the mind and such, or by the hundreds of Vedic words provided by the intellect, can be better perceived from one wise word of the Guru by those filled with yoga and devotion, not otherwise. What a great, marvelous revelation! The entire wisdom contained in all the sacred literatures like Vedas and Upanishads, or even the Bible, the Quran, the Dhampada, all these words and the wisdom contained in the sacred scriptures is insignificant compared to this one single word of a self-realized master, which can lead you to the immediate, direct, intimate experience of the self. That word is being instructed and sought to be reflected upon by you, meditated upon by you, in order for you to enter into Samadhi, Nirvikalpa, Dhyana Samadhi, Sahaj Samadhi, the eternal state of being in one with the self, when the mind and ego dissolve in their roots. That is the pure consciousness. There is nothing called mind in reality. The light of pure consciousness is the essence and life force for the mind and thoughts and mental modifications. Remove the light of pure consciousness, the light of Atman and Brahman, nothing exists. That Brahman you are, that Brahman I am. Realize this truth supreme and become free from all fear. Let's hope and pray that the vast majority of humanity realizes this folly of the phenomenal universe, their body-mind consciousness, and leads and move towards the life immortal, the existence eternal that is revealed in Samadhi through Shramana Manana Nididhyasana, that supreme state of Sahaj Samadhi, Jnana Samadhi. Let me hope and pray that you realize this supreme glory in this very life. Thus ends the chapter 7 of Ribhu Gita. Chidanandarupaha Shivoham Shivoham Chidanandarupaha Shivoham Shivoham Chidanandarupaha Shivoham Shivaya